you can learn a lot about life on the big island of Hawaii. What sustains it, and how today is everything until it's over. How it can be rejuvenated to reveal what's deep inside. And how boundaries are made to be broken. Those lessons come here in an event called the IronMan. 1,800 people united by the challenge to prove, to inspire, to finish a once thought to be unreachable distance. Most of them are you and me.
I am a plumber, firefighter, teacher,
A lawyer.
A Marine.
FBI.
Pharmacist.
Hair colorist.
waitress.
Massage therapist.
I'm a nun.
Tomorrow, I go back to being a foreign currency trader.
One comes to be a champion like he was a year ago. Another to reprove his strategy works. A woman tries to join the all-time greats. Then there are those proven athletes who now so desperately want what winning here will say about them. But they are the minority. The everyman is a soldier fighting a new battle. A nun riding into the sunset. A firefighter embracing a blaze. And a total embrace of the word ability. What happens now changes lives every year. The lasting image of the 2005 Ironman was Jon Blais. He finished the race with ALS and said, "I'm going to finish under my own power or they're going to have to roll me across the finish line." Well, he did it under his own power. 12 months later, his ALS has advanced. He's confined to a wheelchair, facing certain death.
My focus coming back here this year was to bring the war on ALS to Kona. You know, talk about a disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, that not many people know much about. They don't know how hideous the disease is. I mean, the fact that I did the race last year, here I am sitting now in a wheelchair like I predicted. Next year, I won't be sitting in front of any cameras, I'll be gone.
His name is Brian Breen. He's from Chicago. When he watched last year's show, he didn't know Jon Blais. What he did know is that he was inspired to try and do something an Ironman would do.
Well, first off, I made some calls to see that I could do this, that I could go from, 186, 185 pound, kind of out of shape, non-trained, regular guy, average man, to an Ironman in about 5-6 months. Then I went out trying to basically find Jon Blais through the internet. When I found his email address, I just sent him a real simple email, and I just said, "Look, I'm going to Kona. How can I help?"
I got an email from Brian back in July. And at that point, I lost the ability really to type well on the computer. So I just said, hey, I typed in, "Hey, please give me a call." A little later on that day, the phone rang, and he was like, "Well, I've won a lottery slot." His first time out, he won a lottery slot, and he wanted to come and race for a cause that was bigger than himself.
Taking that baby to the finish line right there.
So I said, well, if you consider racing from, Team Blaisman and myself, I said, I think we can make something happen that the world will hear.
A world that thankfully has a Brian Breen in it. Step one is done for Brian Breen in his Ironman debut. A quick hello to Jon Blais, and he's off. A year ago, that's where Blais was headed. This is Jon Blais. He's going to die. Soon. It's ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. This year he's in a wheelchair. Last year he finished the Ironman. Brian Breen watched that and wanted to honor Jon's cause. So he spoke to Jon's dad, and he said,
"Whether you come aboard or not, I want you to understand, we're not trying to reach out and grab you and make you do this for our cause, this Ironman experience is going to be the greatest experience you've ever had in your life. And he said, look, my son and I, we're looking to build a team. And if you want to be part of this team, we're not asking for a lot. We're not asking for you to raise $1 million or raise $10,000. We need awareness. We need people to hear this story, and we need people to continue to tell this story. And so that's it.
And now, Brian is part of the team.
Well, if you guys get a chance to see Jon, tell him I said I'm thinking about him.
Last year, Jon Blais was out there on his way to becoming an Ironman himself. That was after he was given the death sentence of ALS. He's working on building an army out there to raise awareness and bring hope to his world of bleak. One soldier who actually recruited himself was Brian Breen. He's running so that Jon Blais is never forgotten. This, however, is his first. Is there any chance of quitting?
There's no chance. There's no chance. They'd have to drag me off the course unconscious. And then some. On my training runs, especially on my bricks, where I've gone off and done a 4 or 5 hour bike and a 2 hour run or whatever, it's gotten emotional for me because I don't know how everybody else does it, but for me, I run on emotion. I run on passion. That's what drives me.
Good job.
When I was younger, when I was in high school, the guys used to say that Breen can't practice. Because in practice, I'd get beat by the 5th guy in the team. But on a race, no one can touch me. Because where I live, there's a corner. And it's like 200 yards to the house. And when I come around that corner, I can see Jon. There's no stopping me.
Before last year's race, Jon Blais and Brian Breen never heard of each other. The disease that brought them together will soon tear them apart. But today, this is what Brian Breen can do about it. Jon Blais, Brian Breen, finish, ALS. That's all that matters now.
I'm looking forward to being there at the finish line, waiting for him, come midnight. And I'm gonna lose it for sure. It's gonna be emotional, that's for sure. It's gonna be heavy duty. And it's gonna be bittersweet because, this is it. It's almost like in life, they say, well, like I said, life's not a dress rehearsal. How do you get excited about something that, is once it's over, and it's never gonna come again? So you got to live in the moment, and that's what I'll be doing, because I think heading back on that plane, I'll be thinking a lot about what went on here this year, and after that, there's really nothing more that I can do as far as the warning. It's time to pass the torch.
So it's time, Jon.
With his powerful belief of getting to the finish, Brian Breen has made it to town. Every step has been for Jon Blais. It was that same type of belief that Blais had in himself a year before, when he could still run, ride, and swim. That he would get to the finish if they had to roll him across. He rolled himself across. Can it really be just 365 days ago? Sadly, yes, it can.
can't wait. I'm looking for that last 10 feet where all I'm gonna do is just continue the story. It's just a continuation of the Jon Blais story. So, 10 feet from that line, I'm gonna roll, and hopefully the world's watching again, and hopefully they hear him again.
There's not a damn thing. It's the greatest experience of my life.
Mike Laramie, Union City, California.
The greatest experience of my life.
Unbelievable.
Okay?
Yeah.
You carried me through that whole run.
Unbelievable.
Okay?
Unbelievable.
Jon Blais, the warrior.
Jon Blais can no longer take steps toward the destinations of his life. But if we keep moving forward to try and stop an insidious killer, then words become a legacy. For now, it's become a movement that is growing.
Life's not a dress rehearsal, so you gotta live in the moment, and there's really nothing more that I can do as far as the war on ALS. Now it's time to pass the torch.